Wondering what's going on in the world and how to help? So are we. Don't feel scared. There are lots of things you can do to make the world a better place. Join me, Muli, every week. We'll travel somewhere new and ask all our questions to people around the world. Together, we'll find our way to do a little bit to deal with the biggest challenges of our time and have practical, useful tips and tricks on trying to live life a little better. Because life's tough, but we're tougher. How does this turn into this? In today's episode, we're looking at exploding geysers, magic waterfalls, and a giant glacier. I'm Amira, you're watching, and the world is our playground. Water is the liquid that makes all life on Earth possible. Every day, millions of litres of water travel from our oceans, rivers, and lakes into the skies, making clouds, rain, and settling as snow. Close to 3/4 of our planet is covered in water, and it keeps plants, animals, and human beings alive and helps regulate the Earth's heating and cooling mechanism. And today we're standing outside a massive geyser in Iceland. We're a couple of hours outside of the capital city of Reykjavik in Iceland, and we're waiting for a geyser to go off. A geyser is a rare kind of hot spring that is under pressure and erupts, sending jets of water and steam into the air. Geysers are made from a tube-like hole in the Earth's surface that run deep into the crust. The tube is filled with water. Near the bottom of the tube is molten rock called magma, which heats the water in the tube. Water in the lower part of the tube close to the magma becomes super hot. Gradually, it begins to boil. Some of the water is forced upward. The boiling water begins to steam or turn to gas. The steam jets towards the surface. Its powerful jet of steam ejects the column of water above it. The water rushes through the tube and into the air. If we're lucky, we might see it go off today. It's freezing cold, but you can really smell this quite like raw, dirty egg smell, and that's from the sulfur coming off of the hot spring. They're not very common geysers. You don't see them everywhere, but Iceland is like really filled with volcanic rocks and lots of geothermal movements. So we're in one of the world's biggest and most exciting geysers. If we're lucky, we'll see it erupt any second now. The oceans hold about 97% of the water on Earth. About 1.7% is in polar ice caps, and another 1.7% are in rivers, lakes, and soil. A tiny fraction, only 0.001%, exists in the Earth's atmosphere as water vapor. When water vapor from the atmosphere returns to liquid or solid form, it creates cloud droplets that can fall back to Earth, which is what happens when it rains or snows. Most water returns to the oceans, but much of it flows into rivers, streams, lakes, and some of it seeps into the soil where it is held underground as groundwater. Vatnajökull is Europe's largest glacier, over 8,100 kilometers squared. The glacier covers more than 8% of Iceland. Glaciers are massive bodies of slowly moving ice. Glaciers form on land, and they are made up of fallen snow that gets compressed into ice over many centuries. They move slowly downward from the pull of gravity. Glaciers can range in age from a couple hundred to thousands of years old. Most glaciers today are remnants of the massive ice sheets that covered the Earth during the Ice Age. The Ice Age ended more than 10,000 years ago. During Earth's history, there have been colder periods when glaciers formed and warmer periods when glaciers melted. Glaciologists began studying glaciers during the 19th century in order to look for clues about past ice ages. Today, glaciologists study glaciers for clues about global warming. Old photographs and paintings show that glaciers have melted away from mountain regions over time, and now glaciers worldwide have been shrinking and even disappearing at an accelerated rate for the past several decades. Often, waterfalls form as streams flow from soft rock to hard rock. This happens both laterally, as a stream flows across the earth, and vertically, as the stream drops in a waterfall. In both cases, the soft rock erodes, leaving a hard ledge over which the stream falls.
So we've just made ourselves over to Gullfoss waterfall, which is right behind me, and you can see it is a magnificent waterfall. Legend has it that the waterfall called Gullfoss is named because a farmer who had a pot of gold didn't want anyone else getting his gold, so he wrapped it up and threw it in the waterfall. And you can see at this time of day the beautiful golden light hitting the waterfall. I can't speak because my lips are frozen. But also, Gullfoss gets its name from the beautiful rainbow that you can see when the light hits the water.
Not everyone on Earth has access to water. Some people have to walk miles and miles to get to water, and it can have a knock-on effect on everything around them. When people do not have access to safe water, it puts their health, nutrition, education, and futures at risk. When families don't have water, children are forced to walk long distances, which makes them miss time in school and puts them at risk. Unsafe water can lead to diseases like cholera and cause diarrhea, a leading killer of children. Water scarcity and climate change are also drivers of conflict and migration, with communities being forced to compete for shrinking water resources. Families may be forced to leave their homes in search of reliable water supplies, further compounding the disparities between rural and urban areas. What can you do about it? Be careful about how much water you use and tell others to save water when you can. Be careful about what things you put into the water, so check that the soaps and shampoos you use are as much as possible not using strong chemicals. If you know someone who's not in school, try and help them enroll in a local school or share your books and toys with them. Make sure you turn off taps when you're not using them and tell others around you to as well. Together, we can make the world a safer, nicer, kinder place for everyone.